Chapter 4 Calc, Formula and Function. Topics covered: Introduction to Formula, Creating a Formula, Functions in Calc, some more functions, Cell reference, Changing number formats. Hello friends, in your previous chapter, you learned how to create and format a worksheet. Now in this chapter, you will learn how to apply formula and function for carrying out calculations in the project. Introduction to Formula. LibreOffice Calc is a powerful spreadsheet program that allows you to mainly organize data and do calculations. Constants and formulas are two ways of entering data in Calc. The values which are directly entered in the cell are called constant values. Numbers, names, data, currency, etc. are the examples of constant value. A formula is a sequence of values, cell references, names of functions or operators, plus, minus, asterisk, divide, etc. that produces a new value from existing values. In other words, formula is used to calculate numerical information and display the resulting value in a cell. You can use formulas to perform all kinds of calculations in your Calc data. Formula in Calc. In mathematics, when you write a formula, you write down the values and the operators followed by an equal to sign, such as 2 plus 2 is equal to. But in Calc, formulas begin with an equal to sign, such as is equal to 2 plus 2. Calc immediately recognizes any subsequent data as a formula when it begins with an equal to sign. Cell referencing. Every cell in a worksheet has a unique address, also called cell reference. By default, cells are identified by a specific column letter and row number, so cell A5 identifies the fifth cell down in the column A. While entering formulas, use cell references instead of actual data wherever possible. For example, enter the formula is equal to A1 plus A2 instead of is equal to 10 plus 20. When you use cell references and you change a number used in a formula, Calc will automatically redo the calculation for you. Cell range. A group of related cells in a worksheet is called a cell range. Cell ranges are identified by their anchor points, the upper left corner and the lower right corner of the range. The range reference includes both anchor points separated by a colon. Range names must start with a letter and can include uppercase and lowercase letters. You cannot add space in range names. For example, the range name A1:B3 includes cells A1, A2, A3, B1, B2 and B3. Operators. A formula can contain one or more operators. An operator specifies the type of calculation you want to perform. Arithmetic operators. You can use arithmetic operators to perform mathematical calculations. Operator description. Plus, addition. A1 plus B1 minus subtraction. A1 minus B1 multiply, multiplication. A1 multiplied by B1. Divide, division. A1 divided by B1. Percent, percent. A1 percent. Exponential, exponentiation. A1 exponential B1. Comparison operators. You can use comparison operators to compare two values to return a value of true or false. Operator description. Equal to, A1 is equal to B1. Greater than, A1 is greater than B1. Less than, A1 is less than B1. Greater than or equal to, A1 is greater than or equal to B1. Less than or equal to, A1 is less than or equal to B1. Not equal to, A1 not equal to B1. Reference operators. The reference operators combine two cell ranges to create a single joint reference. Operator, name, description, colon, range operator produces a range from two cell references. Example C5, D5. Space, intersection operator produces a range that is the intersection of two ranges. Example D1, E5, B2, E7. Comma, union operator combines multiple references into one reference. Example sum B5, B15, D5, D15. Logical operators. Logical operators are used to compare two or more relational expressions. These operators also give a single value as result, true or false. Logical operator, not, and, or. Order of calculation. When a formula contains more than one operator, Calc performs the calculation in a specific order according to precedence. The order in which Calc performs operations in formulas is called order of calculation. You can use parentheses to change the order in which Calc performs calculations. Calc will perform the calculations inside the parentheses first. For example, if you want to determine the average of values in A3, B3 and C3, and you enter the equation is equal to A3 plus B3 plus C3 divided by 3, you will receive the wrong answer. This is because Calc divides the value in cell C3 by 3 and then adds the result to A3 plus B3. Following operator precedence, division takes precedence over addition. The correct way to type the average formula is equal to A3 plus B3 plus C3 divided by 3. Enclosing the values in parentheses, Calc adds the cell values first before dividing the sum by 3. Order of calculation. First, percent. Second, exponentiation. Third, multiplication and division. Fourth, addition and subtraction. Fifth, comparison operators. Creating a formula. You can create a formula in any cell in your worksheet. A formula helps you to calculate and analyze the data in your worksheet. All formulas begin with an equal to sign in Calc. First, click on the cell where you want to enter a formula. Second, type an equal to sign to begin the formula. Calc displays the formula in the formula bar and in the active cell. Third, click on the first cell you want to refer in the formula. Calc inserts the cell reference into the formula. Fourth, type an operator for the formula. Fifth, click on the next cell you want to refer in the formula. Calc inserts the cell reference into the formula. Sixth, repeat steps 4 and 5 to enter all the data cell reference in the formula. Calc inserts the cell reference into the formula. Seventh, press the Enter key to get the result. The result appears in the cell. To view the formula, simply click the cell. The formula bar displays the formula assigned to the active cell. Entering a formula. You can enter the whole formula into any cell in your worksheet. A formula helps you calculate and analyze the data in your worksheet. First, click on the cell where you want to enter a formula. Second, type an equal to sign to begin the formula. Third, type the formula and then press the Enter key. The result of the calculation appears in the cell. Editing a formula. You can edit the formula anytime by following these steps. First, double-click on the cell containing the formula you want to change. The formula appears in the cell. Calc outlines each cell used in the formula with a different color. Second, press the arrow key to move the insertion point to the place where you want to remove or add characters. Third, to add data where the insertion point flashes on your screen, type the data. To delete the data where the insertion point flashes, use backspace or delete key. Fourth, when you finish making changes to the formula, press the Enter key. Copying a formula. If you want to use the same formula in your worksheet several times, You can save time by copying the formula. Autofill feature of Calc will quickly copy formulas across rows or columns in your worksheet. First, enter the formula you want to copy to other cells. Second, click on the cell containing the formula you want to copy. The formula bar displays the formula for the cell. Third, position the mouse pointer over the bottom right corner of the cell. Mouse pointer changes to. Fourth, drag the mouse pointer over the cells you want to copy the formula. The results of the formula will appear. Fifth, to view the formula in any of the cell, click a cell that received a copy of the formula. The formula bar displays the formula with new cell references. Functions in Calc. A function is a built-in formula that you can use to perform a calculation on the data in your worksheet. It can perform a series of operations on a specified range of values. Calc offers many functions that you can use to perform mathematical calculations on your worksheet data. Examples of commonly used functions include average, count, max, and sum. Each function in Calc has a name. For example, the function that sums data is called sum, and the function for averaging values is average. Specify individual cells. When a comma separates cell references in a function, Calc uses each cell to perform the calculation. For example, is equal to sum A1, A2, A3 is the same as the formula is equal to A1 plus A2 plus A3. Specify a group of cells. When a colon separates cell references in a function, Calc uses the specified cells and all cells between them to perform a calculation. For example, is equal to sum A1 colon A3 is the same as the formula is equal to A1 plus A2 plus A3. Arguments. Functions use arguments which are the specific values used in particular order to perform calculations. For example, A1 colon A3 are arguments. Structure of a function. Function in Calc always begins with equal to sign followed by the function name. Function name is followed by opening parenthesis, then arguments separated by comma or colon and closing parenthesis. Rule to create a function. Equal to sign, function name, opening parenthesis, arguments, closing parenthesis. Difference between formula and function. A formula is a statement written by the user to be calculated. Formulas can be as simple or as complex as the user wants. A formula can contain values or references to cells. All formulas must start by putting an equal to sign. Functions are ready-made formulas that perform a series of operations on a specified range of values. Functions used to add values or to calculate the current time are built into Calc. Equal to sign is automatically included into Calc when you apply function. Using average, max, and minimum function. Suppose you want to calculate the average, highest, and lowest marks in all subjects scored by different students from the range H5 to H14. You can use the functions like average, max, and grand total. All functions begin with an equal to sign and include the arguments in parentheses after the function name. For example, in the function is equal to average H5 colon H14, the function name is average and the argument is the range H5 colon H14. Determining the average of total marks. The average function sums the numbers within the specified range and then divides the sum by the total number of non-zero cells in that range. First, select the cell where you want the average, H16. Second, type is equal to average in that cell. Third, click on the first cell, H5, the first endpoint of the range to average. Fourth, drag up to the last cell, H14, the second endpoint of the range to average. A marquee surrounds the range H5 to H14. When you click cell H5, Calc appends cell H5 to the left parenthesis in the formula bar and surrounds cell H5 with a marquee. When you begin dragging, Calc appends to the argument with a colon and the cell reference of the cell where the mouse pointer is located. Fifth, click on Enter key from the keyboard. Calc computes the average of 10 numbers in the range H5:H14 and displays the result 343.5 in cell H16. Thus, the average total sale of all the devices is 343.5. Formula bar shows the average formula. Update your knowledge. A group of related cells in a worksheet is called a range. Cell ranges are identified by their anchor points, the upper left corner of the range and the lower right corner of the range. The range reference includes both anchor points separated by a colon. For example, the range name A1:B3 includes cells A1, A2, A3, B1, B2 and B3. Determining highest marks using function wizard button. Max function in Calc is used to display the highest value in a range. You can enter max function using the keyboard and point mode as described in the previous steps. An alternative method to enter the function is by using the Insert Function Wizard button on the Formula bar or Formula tab as shown in the following steps. First, select the cell where you want to get the highest number, H17. Second, click on Function Wizard button from the Formula bar. Function Wizard dialog box appears. Third, click on Max function in the Function drop-down menu. Fourth, click on Next button. Fifth, type the range of numbers H5:H14 in the number 1 box as shown in the screenshot. Sixth, click on OK button. The Function Wizard dialog box displays the range H5:H14 as entered in the number 1 box. The complete max function is displayed in the formula bar and the result is displayed in the cell H17. Calc determines the highest value in the range H5:H14, which is 395, value in the cell H7 and is displayed in the cell H17. Formula bar shows the formula. Determining the total value using Sum button. Sum function in Calc is used to display the total value in a range. You can add the sum function and store it in cell H18 so as to determine the total value of the range H5:H14. You can enter the sum function using either of the methods mentioned earlier for determining the average of range of numbers and the highest number. First, select the cell where you want to display the grand total, H18. Second, click on Sum button. Calc immediately attempts to use the function to the adjacent cells. Third, if you want another range of cells instead of cells selected by Sum, click on the first cell H5 and then drag through the last cell H14. The function in the formula bar and in cell H18 displays the range H5:H14. Fourth, click on Enter button. Calc determines the total value of the range H5:H14, which is 3435, and stores it in cell H18. Formula bar shows the formula. You can now apply bold style to the numbers in column H5:H18 as per the project. Your project of progress report is ready. Finish. Some more functions. Calculating loan terms. When buying a car or a home and taking a loan from a bank, you can use Payment (PMT) function of Calc to compare loan terms and make an objective decision based on factors such as the amount of monthly payment. For example, calculate the monthly payment if you have taken a loan of 2 lakh at 5% of interest for 60 months, 5 years. First, type the principal amount, the loan amount or present value, interest rate and number of months. Second, click on the cell where you want the result. Third, click on Function Wizard button. The Function Wizard dialog box appears. Fourth, click on the down arrow of category and select Financial. Fifth, in the Function drop-down menu, click on PMT. Sixth, click on Next. Seventh, click on the rate box to make it active. 8th, click on the cell B2 with the interest rate. The cell reference for the interest rate appears in the area of rate of interest. 9th, divide the interest rate by the number of months per year, for example 12. 10th, click on NPER box to make it active. 11th, click on the cell with the number of periods or months. The cell reference for the number of periods appear in this area of NPER, number of period. 12th, click on PV box to make it active. 13th, click in the cell where the principal amount is given. The cell reference for the principal appears in this area of PV, present value. 14th, click on OK. The result appears in the cell. Formula bar shows the formula of calculation. Calc considers the value returned by the PMT function to be a debit and therefore returns a negative number as the monthly payment. To display the monthly payment as a positive number, begin the function with a negative sign. You do not need to specify a value for every function argument. Some function arguments are required to obtain a result, but others are optional. In the PMT function, for example, the rate, NPER and PV arguments are required, but the FV is optional. Adding conditional sum. You can use conditional sum feature to get the sum of particular numbers in a field. For this, we use SUMIF function. SUMIF takes 3 arguments, a range of numbers, the condition being applied to the numbers, and range to which the condition applies. Values that meet the condition are added together. Let us create a table containing details of computer hardware and apply conditional sum on it. First, create a list of values to sum conditionally. In this example, we will calculate the total amount collected from the sale of laptop computer. Second, click on the cell in which you want the result to appear. Third, click on Function Wizard button. The Function Wizard dialog box appears. Fourth, click on the down arrow of category and select All. Fifth, use the scroll bar of Function and click on SUMIF. Sixth, click on Next. The Function Wizard dialog box for SUMIF appears. Seventh, type the range for the series you want to evaluate. For example, B3:B17. Eighth, type a cell reference of criteria. For example, B3 for laptop computer. Ninth, type the range for the series to be summed if the condition is met. For example, C3:C17. 10th, click on OK. The result appears in the cell. Formula bar shows the formula of calculation. Activity time. Do the calculation of remaining quantities and then do its grand total. Cell reference. Every cell in a worksheet has a unique address called cell reference, which is identified by a specific column letter and row number of that cell. When you use cell reference in a formula and you change any number used in it, Calc will automatically redo the calculation for you. There are 3 types of cell references: relative, absolute, and mixed. Relative reference. While copying the formulas, Calc modifies the cell references. Calc uses a technique called relative cell referencing. The formula using the relative cell reference adjusts the cell reference as it copies to the destination area. For example, C5 is a relative cell reference. A formula using the relative cell reference, C5 instructs Calc to adjust the cell reference as it copies it to the destination area. First, type the formula is equal to B5 multiplied by C5. You want to copy to other cells. The formula bar also displays the formula. Second, press the Enter key. The result of the calculation appears in the cell. Third, position the mouse over the bottom right corner of the cell. Mouse pointer changes to. Fourth, drag the mouse over the cells you want to copy the formula. The results of the formula appear. Fifth, to view one of the new formulas, click a cell that received a copy of the formula. The formula bar displays the formula with relative cell references. In the above example, formula will be copied to the selected cells with relative reference and the value will be calculated accordingly. Absolute reference. While copying formulas, if Calc does not change cell references and make it constant, at that time, Calc uses absolute cell referencing. To specify an absolute cell in a formula, enter a $sign before any column letters and row numbers that you want to keep constant in formulas you plan to copy. For example, $C, $5 is an absolute cell reference. A formula using the absolute cell reference $C, $5 instructs Calc to keep the cell reference C5 constant, absolute, in the formula as it copies it to the destination area. First, type the formula is equal to B5 multiplied by $C, $5. You want to copy to other cells. The formula bar also displays the formula. Second, press the Enter key. The result of the calculation appears in the cell. Third, position the mouse over the bottom right corner of the cell. Mouse pointer changes to. Fourth, drag the mouse over the cells you want to copy the formula. The results of the formulas appear. Fifth, to view one of the new formulas, click a cell that received a copy of the formula. The formula bar displays the formula with absolute cell references. The formula using the absolute cell reference keeps the cell reference C5 constant, absolute, in the formula as it copies it to the destination area. In the above example, the first cell reference of each cell is changed, but the second cell reference of each cell is constant. Mixed reference. A cell reference with only one $sign before either the column or the row is called a mixed cell reference. It can be either C$5 or $C5. When it shows C$5, the column reference changes when you copy this cell to another column because it is relative. The row reference does not change because it is absolute. When it shows $C5, the column reference does not change because it is absolute. The row reference changes when you copy this cell reference to another row because it is relative. First, type the formula is equal to $B5 multiplied by C, $5. You want to copy to other cells. The formula bar also displays the formula. Second, press the Enter key. The result of the calculation appears in the cell. Third, position the mouse over the bottom right corner of the cell. Mouse pointer changes to. Fourth, drag the mouse over the cells you want to copy the formula. The results of the formulas appear. Fifth, to view one of the new formulas, click a cell that received a copy of the formula. The formula bar displays the formula with mixed cell references. In this example, we have used mixed cell reference where column will remain constant in first reference and row will remain constant in second reference. Changing number formats. Number formats are different formats for displaying numerical data. You can use number formatting to control the appearance of numerical data. Calc offers many different number styles to choose from. For example, if you have a column of prices, you can apply currency formatting to the data. First, select the cell or range you want to format. Second, click on Format menu. Third, click on Cells. The Format Cells dialog box will open. Fourth, click on the Numbers tab. Fifth, click on any desired category, currency. Sixth, select the format for your number. The preview of your number appears here. Seventh, click on OK. Calc applies the number formatting to the numerical data in the cell or range. In this example, we have changed the number format in currency format. Description of number formats. All displays all the formats. User-defined enables you to create your own custom format. Number displays numbers with 2 decimal points by default. Percent multiplies cell value by 100 and displays percent sign. Currency add rupee sign and decimals to display monetary values. Date displays current date. Time displays current time. Scientific uses scientific or exponential notation. Fraction displays value as a specified fraction. Boolean value displays true values. Text treats values as text.